You had a fun week sitting at a press conference last week. You got to sit there listening to the utterings, mutterings and splutterings of the inimitable Chris Eubank Jr. When you're sat there listening to that, what was your sort of reaction to it? I know Frank couldn't hear it initially, and then when it caught up with him, ultimately he did hear it. But when you're sat there listening to that, what were you thinking?
Mate, you know, it's I got nothing personal against Frank Warren or, you know, Eddie Hearn and stuff like that. But I've had run-ins with promoters, you know what I mean? You know, it's a touchy subject to sort of talk about, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to be writing a apology post tomorrow, you know.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's a bit
No, I'm not asking
sensitive
you to
and you
comment on what
can't
he
say
said,
things like that. But
were you surprised? Were you like?
I'm not so.
Because everyone else sitting outside.
Listen, the way he said it and how direct he was, I was thinking, bast. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. You know, he should be able to speak how he wants to speak. But, you know, well, fighters aren't treated with the respect they deserve. You know, we're used like chess pieces on a chessboard to some people. You know what I mean? So sometimes they want to demand a bit more respect. You know, we're in there sacrificing our lives. You know, the pain and sacrifice we have to go through for years. You know, like I said, I deserve to be here. You know, like I have dedicated my life to this sport. You know, and then to be told what I can and can't do and when I can and can't fight. You know, like it's crazy. You know what I mean? These guys are controlling our lives sometimes. You know what I mean? It's man. It is what it is, you know what I mean? But at the same time, we live and die by the sword, don't we? We know what we're fighting for.
Right.
We know what business we're in.
And you signed the contract.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But it's all a learning progress, you know? Like I said, I've had run-ins with, you know, past promoters and stuff like that, and we've learned from it. It's made us better in the ring, outside the ring, as it's helped us become, you know, matured in life.
Yeah, wiser, more experience.
It is what it is.
Get people around you that you can trust and rely on and build relationships with them. Where are you? I mean, when I saw it, I have to say it made me laugh because he pretty much went after everybody. Mm-hmm. I don't think you can say the things that he said and get away with it unless you can stand it up. If you're going to say that somebody has been lying and cheating their way through an industry for 20 years, you better have some hard backing of that to be able to support it, which is why everyone's rode back from it. But when you listened to it, what was your thought process?
It's Eubank Jr.
Absolutely. That was me.
This is how he rolls. And listening to Jai speak there, that's not isolated. I'm sure Eubank Jr.'s thought processes towards promoters aren't isolated. There's plenty of fighters that will have similar thoughts, but you're exactly right. If you're going to say things like that in a public format, you're going to have to be able to back it up. And if you can't stand them up, then you're going to be in a lot of trouble. What I do think, and what I've commended, is how quickly it was sorted like that. I mean, imagine now we have a 2-week period.
Gee, I wonder why that was.
I know exactly why that was.
Oh, why is that then?
I think the man who holds the purse strings maybe got on the phone said, lads, stop messing about. We've got a blockbuster card in 2 weeks' time. That's what I want the focus to be on. I've put on the best fight in boxing. That's where I want my focus to be. Can you two sort this out, please? And it was sorted out incredibly quickly, which I think is a really good thing, because the last thing you want, as these guys are preparing for these big fights, YouTubers and what have you, to have the microphones asking questions about that. Let's concentrate on the fights that we've got, a good card with the best fights in boxing. That's where the focus should have been.
I thought it was very clever. I thought it was clever in one respect and not in another. I thought it was scattergun, so it took everybody down, so no one can talk about any favourites. I thought it was clever positioning, because it's Chris Eubank Jr. saying to the Saudis, I'm an island on my own, and I'm looking to have a relationship with you. I'm going to have a relationship with you on your card, and you're going to be dealing with me. And it's nice that Ben's here, and I'm glad to be with Ben currently. But the reality, Ben Shalom, my real endeavour is I'm the Chris Eubank Show, and the Chris Eubank Show is rolling into town, and the Chris Eubank Show is an island. And it'd like to have it deal directly with the Saudis themselves. That was my underlying message. And I don't think that I took away from it, and I don't think he gave a about who he said, what he said about, until someone said to him afterwards, the reality of that, mate, is you might get handed to you. Metaphorically.
Yeah.
And so with that in mind, everyone rode back. I would imagine it was a very interesting green room afterwards when Frank Warren probably strode into it and told people precisely what he thought of their opinions. But you're probably right. In the interests of where things are going, it probably is better to have order. Some people looking in from the outside would say, someone spoke the truth for the first time. I'm not sure that's right. There's a version of the truth. There's two versions of the truth.
Of course.
And they get played out in certain people's minds. But I thought it was an interesting watch, and it would have shocked a few people and unnerved a few people and livened a few people up. And he didn't miss. Even his sister's husband was brought into the equation. If I've led to believe
Christmas dinner's going to be fun, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.